Hello and welcome to this video. If you clicked on it, you're probably just wanting to learn more about manifestors, or you are a manifestor and you're just trying to understand your purpose in this world and how you move and really what you're here for, right? So today in this video, I'm gonna go over what makes you a manifestor, how to tell that you are a manifestor within your body graph, and trying to talk about the past and what you guys did when we were seven-centered beings and stuff like that. Also, strategy, authority, not self-theme, all that stuff, which you can see on the right side. Also, for context, this is Jerry Seinfeld. I think he's an excellent manifestor. I think he does a great job at being a manifestor. Not that anyone does a worse or better job or whatever. I just think he's a good example. So let's get into it, right? So number one, how do you know if you are a manifestor or not, right? From just looking at your body graph, right? So if you look at Jerry Seinfeld, right, he has, you see the center, the square center with the 3 in it. That's your sacral. Your sacral cannot be defined. That is the number one first thing. It cannot be defined. If it is defined, then you could be an MG or you could be a generator or whatever, but we're talking about manifestors here. Cannot be defined, right? Which all he has defined in that center is the 3. If he had that channel to the 60 or from 53 to 42, then he would be something else entirely. But he'd be an MG. But here he doesn't have the sacral defined, so that's the first requisite, right? First requisite. The second requisite is you have to have a channel from a motorized center to the throat center. Here he has 2. You don't have to have 2. You just need at least 1. Now if you look at the throat center, which is that top square, the top brown square, it has the 62, the 20, the 33, the 12, and the 35 in it. And you can see the 12 is connected to the 22 on that right side triangle. That right side triangle is his solar plexus, right? That's what makes him an emotional authority manifestor, right? Or solar plexus authority. You can see it on the right side of the screen underneath the not self theme, which is anger. But the second motorized center he has is his root connected to it. Now, as you can see, he has the 53, the 54, the 58, and the 19. That's that bottom square down there, right? And you can see the channel from the 19 to 49 connected. That is a motorized center as well, so that can count too. But generally, you need to not have your sacral defined, which is the number one requisite. And the number 2 requisite is you need to have a channel from a motorized center to your throat center, as long as it's not the sacral, right? Because number 1, sacral can't be defined. So if you determine that you are a manifestor, even if you're not, you're just here just to learn. Let's get on to the next part, right? So back when we were 7-centered beings, which I guess wouldn't be we, because I wouldn't count, I'm a projector. There would be no way for me to be a manifestor, or not a manifestor, to exist back then, because, I need 9 centers to be a projector. I can't be a 7-center projector. We didn't exist. Back when humanity was 7-centered, right? We were basically ruled by manifestors because they had the power to rule. Their aura type, they have a very repelling aura. It's strong. It brushes things off. It's almost like, they're walking around and everything is being pushed away from them as they're walking, generally. Now, from my, experiences and perspective as a projector, the ones that I've met, I've only met 2 of them. They're about like 9% of the population, so they're kind of rare. It's repelling until they let me in, right? Now, as a projector, I'm always trying to read things or look into things or look into people. It's just how my aura works. Even if I don't want to, it's just how it works, right? And the manifestors I've met, the 2 of them, it's always that they're pushing me away until they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I'm invited and I'm in and, everything's good, then I can read them like any other type, right? Because they're open to me. But when they're not, that aura is sort of repelling me and pushing me away, and I honestly have no clue what is going on within them until they open up to me. That being said, getting into the purpose of a manifester, right? And the video could probably be like 6 minutes. I'm at 5 minutes right now because how I see it, I think it's very simple what their purpose is. Doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean it's easy to do, especially in society today, but I think it's pretty simple. And for context, 7-centered manifestors of the past are different to 9-centered beings now, right? We're vastly different, and we're in a era of rightness, or moving into rightness, right? Which is funny because you can see here he's quad right, which is very interesting right here. I'm not even quad right, right? A quad, I can't English, right? I'm not even quad right, If you know anything about that whole thing, I can get into that eventually. But the only thing left for me is my environment. But he's completely right. Everything is right here, which is very interesting. He's 4 parts future. Yeah, manifestors of today, 9-centered manifestors are very different than 7-centered manifestors back then. And also Ra talks about manifestors back then that said people were very stupid. I don't think people are as stupid. People are not self, but people are not stupid, right? Not as stupid. So I guess that's why things are different. But the force and the energy and the strength and the power that a manifestor has is no different. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a throat connected, a channel connecting from the throat to their motor center. They can bring that to the surface, and they can manifest, and they can make things happen. And that kind of is like the main thing for a manifestor. Like, it's not even about leading. They were able to lead because they had that impact, but it's not even about leading. It's really about having impact and having force and initiating. You know what I'm saying? It's about initiating. People will naturally gravitate to that and want to see that person as a leader, but they don't have to lead at all. They could just be on their own, just living their life, and they can, have impact just by existing. They could do something cool and then everybody else follows it, right? That's the impact. But as long as they are following their strategy and authority, or more so their authority, strategy is a little different. I'll get into that, in a bit. As long as they're following their authority and their authority tells them to do something, then it doesn't matter how that impact affects other people. It could be negatively, it could be positively, it could be whatever. As long as it impacts them and is coming from the correct place, then they're doing their job as manifestors, right? I hopefully, I fully believe that we are all here in human design and as our different types in order to help humanity as a whole, right? A manifestor, even though they don't need anybody, they really don't. I mean, if you're a split, you're going to want somebody. If you're human, you're kind of going to want somebody. You're going to want to socialize. You're going to want to have groups and things like that. I also hear sometimes it's hard for manifestors to foster community, which is interesting because obviously Ra had like all these people around him, well, he was a 5-1, so, he could universalize, but the thing is, manifestors can operate solely on their own. They don't really need anybody. Now, technically, they are a form of parasite like projectors are. I don't mean like in a negative sense, but we are parasites because we're non-energy types. All the non-energy types need energy to live, right? Obviously. But manifestors don't need anybody, all right? Manifestors can manifest on their complete own. They can bring the things that are within them out to the surface, and they can initiate and start things. And I can't do that. I can only be invited, and then I respond. And if I want to make something or create something, I need the forces of the outside world, whether it be the transits happening or people or whatever. I need that because I don't have it within myself. As a projector, I don't have a channel to my motor center. If I did, I'd be a manifestor. But thing is, following your authority, if you follow your authority correctly and it tells you to do something and you listen to that, then you're doing a fine job, period. Your job here is to have impact. That is the number one thing. It's not to read people. It's not to not to even necessarily be kind, even though you should. All right, I'm not saying be an evil person or this and that, but you are here to have impact. Now, in terms of your strategy to inform, that strategy is there just to sort of ease things over with, everyone. If you do something and it affects someone and you didn't tell them that it was going to affect them, then I'd understand if they were pretty angry with you, and then that would cause more friction for you and probably lead to the not self theme of anger. One of the ones that I knew, she would go out and do whatever she wants to do, whatever, yada yada, and she wouldn't tell nobody what she was doing, and that would result in her mother, which I think was a projector, would question the hell out of her because she didn't tell her what was going on, and she would get vehemently angry at that questioning. If she just had informed, then none of that would happen. Now, obviously, there's some things you can't inform, like, oh, I'm going to do something that I know that someone wouldn't approve of, or this and that, but that's with anything, right? The point is, that's all informing is for. It is just to inform. The word inform does not mean ask permission. It does not mean see how they feel about this. No, it means to just let you know what I'm going to do. The thing is, if you got that hit, whether it be, after the emotional waves and all that, or whatever it is, to do something, and you're following your authority correctly, you do that, regardless of how someone takes the informing. All right, because you're following your authority properly, and that is what you're here to do. You're here to have impact. Whether that impact is received as positive from other people, really, truthfully, is not your concern. And I know it sounds crazy. Obviously, you want to get along with people, this and that, or whatever. Some people do. Some people don't. It is not your concern. You can inform, and that's the most you can do, and that's the best you can do. And, we appreciate it as non-manifestor types. But when you get that hit, you do what you do. All right? I'm not saying be cold, don't care about other people, this and that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that word inform means to inform. It does not mean to ask. It does not mean to question whether or not something you want to do is correct. When you tell someone, it's not to figure out if it's okay or, how they feel about it or whatever. It is to literally inform, just to let them know. That's it. So when you get that hit, you listen to it and you follow it. And if that hit was correct for you, it will lead to your signature, which is peace. Because whatever it is that you had to do, whatever it might be, worked for you, right? So that's basically the point of this video. It's basically the point of manifestors. That is your purpose, is to inform and have impact. That impact leads to a lot of great things in humanity. Ra was a manifestor, and he universalized, and he had that impact, and here I am talking about it many years later, right? So, hey, if you enjoyed the video, if you found this informative, if you disagree with anything or have anything you want to comment on, just tell me down below. Explain it to me. If you dislike it, dislike it. If you like it. I'm always open. I'm here to learn. I'm not even here to just talk or this and that. I'm here to learn. I'm here to express. I'm here to express what I've learned as well and my sort of understanding of things, all right? I'm a 5'2", Splenic Projector. I'm here to universalize in a sense, right? It's not as simple as being a 5'1", but I'm still here to do that. I have that 5 in me, right? So I need to sort of put myself out there in order to do the thing, do what I need to do as a human, and same thing for others, right? So if you enjoyed the video, I thank you. I appreciate you, and peace.